Hi guys, Howard Croston. You join me today on the banks of a rather cold River Itchen, and I'm going to tie a few of my favourite patterns that are available from Fulham Mill. So, the first fly I'm going to tie for you is a fly I'm quite well known for. It's the Jig Back Caddis. Now, this particular fly is a fly that really falls into the category sometimes of a sacrificial pattern, i.e. it's a fly that's used to get other fish catching patterns down in the water column where it needs to be. In all honesty, this fly still catches an awful lot of fish of its own right. When I'm using it, when I'm heavy bugging in the winter, stuff like that, I'll catch a lot of fish on this fly as well as the other flies on the cast that it helps to fish better. In the vise, I've got a size 12 jig force hook. Onto that I've got mounted a 3.8mm black nickel tungsten bead. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is quickly lay down a bed of fly tying floss. I'm just going to put one lap of fine fly tying floss down the hook shank, like that, slightly around the bend, and then I'm going to tie it off. Just going to do that with a 3-turn whip finish. Lose the tag ends. Now, next thing, I'm going to take a little bit of fly tying super glue, a little bit on my dubbing needle, just like that, and run that in on top of the shank. Now that, with this 4.5mm tungsten jig off bead, should just click into place on top of the hook shank with a little bit of pressure. There we go. So that bed of floss now has given me a tight fit for that tungsten jig back. So that's giving me a stable base to tie the rest of the fly on. Now I changed the thread now, and I'm going to use a much thinner fly tying thread, and I'm going to catch in under the jig back right at the back of the hook. Now again, I'll get rid of the tag end. The next material I'm going to tie in is this Nymph Rap. This is the medium. It's a 4mm and it's in the brown colour. You can use different colours. You don't have to be tied too stringently to the colour scheme of this particular fly. Its first job, first and foremost, is to get the other flies down on the cast, and then it also happens to look like something the fish may well eat. In this case, a Cased Caddis. So what I do is I cut a little taper into the end of the Nymph Rap, and I catch it in by the very, very tip right at the back end of the hook. Now you need to be a little bit cautious here that you don't pile too much pressure on your thread and cut the material, which is possible. Then the next step, what I like to do is just drop a little bead of super glue onto the top of the hook, or onto the top of the jig back. Then I'll jump forward a little bit with the thread, and I'll use the grooves in the middle of the jig back to form a little bit more tension and hold that jig back down on the hook. You've got to keep in mind that this is going to come into a lot of contact with the bed of the river. So if you're fishing those big spate rivers with a gravel bottom, you're using these very, very heavy flies. A lot of the time they're tripping bottom and they're running bottom. So you need to make sure the whole thing is very, very securely tied. So now I take that Nymph Rap material, and this is always the tricky initial stage, is getting it going up onto the hook. And typically I'll make several laps with this. I'm not too worried about just having one lap of material. So what I'll do is I'll get it on, I'll get it caught, and I'll go down in very tight turns over the whole thing. Cover that jig back. Now, from a competition perspective, obviously I fish in a lot of competitions in world championships, etc. I can't have any additional exposed weight other than this front bead. So for me, when I'm tying these flies for competitions, I will go several laps and cover the whole jig back. I'll be very, very careful to make sure I keep the entire thing covered. And it does get a little bit tricky around the back end of the hook where you've got that bump of the tungsten back to cover. So you've got to be a little bit canny with getting it in, just to make sure that you've got none of it exposed. So I'll have a quick look there. Got a little gap in there now. So back pedal. Just come up onto there a little bit. Like that. Get it all cocooned in. The advantage of this, using this Nymph Rap type material rather than one of the thicker materials that are out there, is that you can pile the tension on it and you can still keep the overall thing quite thin. There we go. That's the whole thing buried now. Dropping right behind the eye, and again I'll just tie that in now behind the eye. A few turns like that. Again, using these thin fly tying threads, I can afford to pile 10, 15, 20 wraps in without building too much bulk. Stretch it, trim it off, so get rid of that. So now that's that jig back completely covered. In all honesty, is an extra level of security, particularly if you're fishing in a competition. You can just coat that with either a resin or some super glue as well, so it gives it a little bit of impact resistance against the bottom, so you don't end up rubbing through that Nymph Wrap quite as quickly. Now, the next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is the Tactical Microflash dubbing. This particular colour is the fluorescent chartreuse. It's a nice sort of colour that suggests maybe a Cased Caddis peeping out of its case. Whether the fish take it for that or not, who knows, until we find a talking fish. We'll never know. But it does work well. And I just dub a very thin, tight noodle of that on the thread and drop it in right behind the bead. Now what I do to put the legs on, and you can do this with a cock hackle or a hen hackle, it really doesn't matter. I have a hackle. I look for the area in the hackle where the fibres are about the length I want for the legs, and then all I do is I put this against my finger. You can't see it this from your side, but I put it against my finger and I go in with my scissors and I take the middle of the feather out, and I end up with a little V like that. Then what I'll do is I'll perch them on top of the hook, roughly in the position I want, like so, making sure it's V'd either side, and then I'll drop in a thread wrap and pinch two little bunches. So when I rotate that round now, you can see I've got two little V's that look quite like legs poking out from the front of a case. Now, just for security's sake, I'll drop a 2-turn whip finish on, hold it in place while I trim the tag ends. There we go. And then just to tidy it up, because as we all know, fish are really worried about things like this, I'll noodle a little bit more dubbing on. And one nice little trick that you can do that I showed many years ago is when you make your final whip finish, is to make that final whip finish with your dubbed thread. So that is effectively tidying up, covering all your tag ends and finishing your little collar off on the fly as well. Cut the tag end off. Then obviously if you want, you put a little bit of fly tying varnish on or something just to secure it, or super glue for that matter. If you wanted to, now you could resin that body, put it aside to dry. But that basically is my jig back caddis, again, that I use particularly a lot at this time of year. Cold water, high water a lot of the time when I want to get the other flies on the cast right down deep. It's a really, really good fly, tight in different weights, different sizes, and that's my sort of go-to sacrificial but not sacrificial fly for fishing, particularly in the winter or in high water.